The Phoenix Suns looked dead in the water about this time a month ago, coming off of their third loss to fall to 15-18. But now they've won 8 of their last 10 games, including 3 in a row. The addition of Nick Richards looks like a perfect match in their front court. And this is really reminding me of the Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington trades that kind of shook up the Mavericks roster at the deadline last year. Same thing could be said for this year's Suns, although it doesn't seem like this is the last trade that the Suns will make, as it looks like the front office is going to try and bring in Jimmy Butler. And then there's also one other trade piece that I've mentioned in today's video. First, though, let's break down this Nick Richards film. We talked about it. He can be an effective short roll passer. And what I mean by that is when they throw it to him in the short roll, like KD does here, he can catch and effectively make the read. Bub Carrington steps up, so it's an easy read for him to throw right to the corner for Tyus Jones, who is an above-average three-point shooter, to knock that shot down. He's also good in the pick and roll, like we said. Of course, having Tyus Jones as your point guard, he's one of the better pick and roll floor generals in the NBA. But Nick Richards is athletic enough and has good enough hands, not great hands, but good enough hands to play off of him. On the year so far as a Phoenix Sun, he's played 5 games. He averages 11.8 points, 11.2 rebounds, and 0.8 blocks in 25 minutes per game this year. Also 3.4 offensive rebounds per game. He's been a force in the paint, and then he's even showing off a little bit of his bag right here. Little run and hook shot over Alex Sarr, and then dominating in the paint and going back up with the left. As you can see by his game log, he is kind of hit or miss. He either drops 20 or more points, or 8 or fewer. There's no in between so far as a Sun for Nick Richards, but this is a really good read right here. This is supposed to be kind of a rip screen action with a back screen on the backside for Royce O'Neal, but watch Nick Richards read this. As Devin Booker comes off this screen, Alex Sarr slides over, so he's just going to slide right in between both the defenders and go up with a grown man finish, right? He is every bit of 7 foot, 250 pounds. He's just a big dude in the paint. And then he's also really good defensively. Watch him here in drop coverage. He's got to cover all that area that I got circled. It's supposed to be a stagger screen to go on left. Jordan Poole rejects the screens, and it's a fantastic job done by Nick Richards to block that shot using every bit of that 7 foot 4 inch wingspan that he's got. Now, as I mentioned, the Suns will probably be making some more trades centered around either Bradley Beal or Jusuf Nurkic. Now, I like Beal off the bench a little bit, but it seems like the Suns really want to go for Jimmy Butler. Butler on the year averages 17 points a game, 5.2 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and 1 steal in 30 minutes. It's not having, the year that he's expected to have, but remember, just 2 years ago, he was really, really effective, averaging 23 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 1.8 steals, while shooting 54% from the field and finished 10th in MVP voting. I would argue that's the best season of his career, and remember, he's just 2 years removed from that, but he is 35 years old, and he's on a massive contract. $48 million this year, $52 million player option next year. So you're either going to be in a world of debt, or he could just walk on you for nothing. So if you're willing to give up Bradley Beal for that, both are on horrific contracts. The Heat would probably want some picks back, and this is all you've got. A bunch of late first-round picks that you can offer them. Maybe they'll go for that, although Pat Riley is no fool. I don't think he would want all those late first-round picks. He's probably going to want a young player, in which the Suns really don't have one they can provide, although I do like that lineup. Now, this next trade I've been reading about could potentially be Patrick Williams for Jusuf Nurkic. The salaries match up, and the Suns would be getting a guy that has a bit of potential still, but he's completely fallen off, and he's on a very bad contract. 9.2 points per game for Patrick Williams this year, 4 rebounds on 37% shooting from the field, 35% from 3. The reason they would want to do this is because he's 23 years old, he's still got defensive upside, and he's still got upside in general. Remember, in 2022-23, the year before he signed this contract, he averaged 10.2 points a game, 4 boards, and a steal and a block in 28 minutes a game. He shot 46% from the field and 41% from 3 that year. Not to mention, he was a much better defender that year with a 113 defensive rating compared to a 117 this year. And the Bulls would simply be doing that trade because Jusuf Nurkic has a much smaller contract, fewer years included. Now, as for the rest of this Suns team, we talked about Bradley Beal a little bit. Kevin Durant on the year is averaging 27.2 points a game, 6.4 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1.3 steals per game in 36 minutes a game. 52% shooting from the field, 39% from 3. KD's not the issue. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way. And really, the Suns have been playing better over their last 10 games. Like we talked about, they've won 8 of 10. the shots that he hits are simply ridiculous. His shot selection is horrible, but he makes it, so you can't say anything about it. Now, as for Devin Booker, he's had a bit of a down year. This is where the problems start to arise. 25.2 points per game for him, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal in 37 minutes per game. And you might think, hey, that's not a bad year whatsoever. Well, he's shooting 44% from the field and 35% from 3 on 8 attempts, and his 3-point percentage has been going down. Although he did have a 5-game stretch where he was up to 32 points a game, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1.8 steals on 52% shooting from the field. But over that 5-game stretch, he was still just 37% from 3, which is good, but we'd like to see Devin Booker around 39-40% from downtown because, you know, he is a superstar. He's expected to play like one. As for Bradley Beal, I honestly like him coming off the bench. This year he's averaging about 17.5 points per game, 3.6 assists, 3.3 rebounds, 1 steal in 33 minutes a game, and he has been solid off of the bench, and they've won 9 of the 12 games that he's come off the bench. 49% shooting from the field, 39% from 3 on 5.5 attempts for him, but like we said, off the bench he's averaging 16.3 points, 4 assists, and the Suns have a 9-3 record when he comes off of the bench. He shoots 51% from the field, 35% from 3 on 5 attempts in the 12 games that he's played off of the bench, like we said. I don't think Beal is the issue. He's kind of being scapegoated here, in my opinion, because he's really efficient from the field, and he's not even shooting bad from beyond the arc either, and they've won 9 of the 12 games when he's not in the starting lineup. If you've made it this far in the video, make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and that subscribe button. As you can see, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if that is you, go ahead and fix that. Now let's take a look at the rest of this supporting cast. We'll start with Grayson Allen, who on the year, not a bad year, 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1 steal in 24 minutes per game for the Duke product, who still just continues to shoot it at a very, very high level, 44% from the field, 42% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. He's a guy that can really hurt you when you're focused on KD, Devin Booker, and other guys. Royce O'Neal, at 31 years old, is having one of the better seasons of his career. 10.2 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and 1 steal in 25 minutes. And he's doing that on 44% shooting from beyond the arc and 43% from 3. 44% from the field, excuse me. Overall, I think it's one of, if not the best seasons of his career. You got Grayson Allen shooting it well, both of those guys 42% from 3 or better. And then Tyus Jones is a great point guard. Great addition that they brought in this offseason, 11.6 points a game for him to go with 6 assists, 2.5 rebounds, and a steal per game in 31 minutes while shooting 48% from the field and 42% from 3 for him as well. So all of 3 of those guys shoot at least 42% from beyond the arc. In theory, it should be a great formula for success around Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. It just hasn't been so far. And maybe with the addition of Nick Richards, that can change things going forward. We've seen they are 4-1 with him on the team. Now, Ryan Dunn, the rookie, is averaging about 7.2 points and 3.2 rebounds, as well as 0.7 blocks. Only shooting 32% from the field, but he is a rookie, like we said, and he showed no signs of being a shooter last year at Virginia. As a starter, he's averaging 11 points per game, 6 rebounds, 1 block in 25 minutes, and, you know, that the fact that he's shooting 32% from 3 is really surprising to me, and that should tell you a little bit about how bad of a shooter he was last year. But I really like this starting lineup, and I really think going forward, it can be a serviceable unit. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to the like button, leave me a comment down below, and that subscribe button. We're looking for about 300 likes on today's video. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.